what if we could talk to a first generation millionaire entrepreneur who has a passion for technological innovation?
I felt that I could do more from a entrepreneurial path. I didn't want to necessarily inhibit my ingenuity by going down a specific path that wouldn't allow me to venture into others. So now it's a matter of adopting and figuring out how to conform to the new age, the new world. The transition is already happening. It is no longer a science fiction question of if this will ever happen. It's been hypothesized and fantasized about for decades. We're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger and the Terminator days back then. You're like, could this happen? But that's a dystopian universe, of course. Now we're at the point where you actually have a rapid imminent integration into the workforce for AI, agentic AI, right? Now imagine a world where, and by the way, this is not too far in the future. We're talking about 3 to 5 years. This is actually going to be a common everyday occurrence where you see this integration of humanoid robots and AI, agentic AI in the workforce on a day-to-day basis. You can have a company that pays $20,000 to $30,000 for a humanoid robot that can do basic tasks. They're not going to replace humans from a reasoning perspective. AGI, in my opinion, is already here. So where you go from generative AI to agentic AI, right? And somewhere in the mix, in between there, I believe that we've achieved artificial general intelligence. We've surpassed so many benchmarks that to me would justify making the postulating that they are not necessarily self-aware. They're not necessarily conscious at this point, but they surpass a lot of human level intellect. We're talking about you have binary code, right? Ones and zeros that are trying to do the same work. You have a human brain, which is the most sophisticated piece of technology in existence today. But from a strictly efficient standpoint, one could argue that a artificial intelligence that has reasoning capabilities, you feed it, hey, these are our objectives. This is what we want to, which could be voted on democratically. And it would do a relatively decent job theoretically. I obviously don't think we're there yet because I don't think we're going to reach artificial super intelligence until we can figure out the quantum computing component.
Yeah.
Governments want the private sectors to develop this faster. They want to outpace the competition because, God forbid, right, we come in last place and everybody else figures it out before us, right? They figure out super intelligence or quantum computing before we do. Space has always been the frontier for exploration and scientific experimentation, but it's always been backed by the governments, right? They've controlled it. For the first time, we're seeing privatization. By 2030, we're going to have a presence on the moon and it's going to stay there. We're going to have the Artemis program. We're going to have a moon base, a lunar base there. This is the first time we've had this type of technology that actually can economically get us to outside of our environmental confinement, aka Earth. Russia has developed a pretty fascinating, it's made headlines, though I have not seen if anyone yet has actually confirmed this claim, but they have a new propulsion technology that could, they say, get us to Mars in 2 months, 2 to 3 months instead of 7. That would be a significant advancement. Don't be afraid of change. So change has happened, innovation and change has occurred in human history throughout history, right? It's the only difference is the speed at which we are changing the world. It would blow you away. You would probably die of a heart attack if you weren't expecting it. We're going to see so much dramatic change. But what I tell people, there's a lot of fear being propagated out there. We're going to enter into a world of abundance where poverty is eradicated, cancer is eradicated, or to at least to an extent, disease is significantly reduced. We're going to see incredible things. And as a human species, we're going to do incredible things.
What happens if money becomes obsolete? Because basically our ancestors were like, they fought over food, basically food
Right.
and shelter, and now we have food abundance. And then what happens if just basically our society progresses where it's where money becomes abundant? It's like people are not struggling to survive.